Welcome back. Returning now to our Crime Watch Daily Mystery, a family's suspicions. Officially, Kara Kopetsky is considered missing, but Andrea, a private investigator that's been hired by this family, believes that is simply not true.
Matt, I know it is sad to say, but the PI tells me she thinks this young girl has been murdered, and she believes she knows who may have done it. So I went to Missouri to get some answers. If only she turned around, gone back to class, maybe she'd still be here. Instead, this is the last known image of 17-year-old Kara Kopetsky walking out the front doors of her Belton, Missouri high school and into oblivion.
The pictures, the videos, do they make you feel joy or pain or both?
There's no pain looking back at that. That's when life was life. That's what life is supposed to be.
Now, Kara's parents say, life is just one big question without answers, at least none they can prove. But Kara's parents also say that almost as soon as they realized their daughter was missing 9 years ago, they looked to the man Kara had just filed a restraining order against. Her ex-boyfriend, Kyler Yost.
Because Kyler did abduct Kara 2 weeks prior to May 4th, and when I called Kyler, he answered the phone. It was about 8:30 p.m. and he said, "Jim, I know Kara's, what do you want me to do?" And I said, "Kyler, what'd you do with her?" And he goes, "I didn't do anything." And he got off the phone, and then I called another friend of his, and he answered the phone, and he said, "Well, Kara and Kyler were together this morning." We were shell-shocked.
But even though multiple reports confirmed it, the Beckfords say that initially, police treated their daughter as a runaway. Lieutenant, there will be some people who would ask, why wasn't Kyler Yost dragged into the police department, questioned, interrogated about where is Kara?
Who says he wasn't? We have an ongoing criminal investigation. I can't tell the family what I've done in this case. So, again, who says he wasn't?
Whatever the answer, Kyler Yost remained a free man. That is, until he was arrested for animal cruelty and later, possession with intent to distribute. Kyler served 3 years in prison for that conviction, but still, no hard evidence to connect him to Kara's disappearance. There are experts who say this is a homicide, and that homicide happened the day she disappeared. You think what?
It's a distinct possibility. But I've also heard from people that said they had relatives that left and everybody thought they were dead, and they showed up 7, 8 years later and they just moved 3 states away.
In fact, roughly 5 years after Kara's disappearance, breaking news out of Indiana. A woman, even Kara's parents admit, bears a striking resemblance to their daughter, is arrested. Her face splashed across the news, but it wasn't her.
You always hold out that hope.
That hope is the civilian in you, the dad in you hope. But
Sure.
The police officer in you feels like what?
I'm working a homicide case.
So then, who's the killer? Why did he want Kara dead? And the question, with what may be one of the most shocking answers, did he already confess?
Oh my gosh, no, he has openly admitted to at least 3 people that I'm aware of that he murdered Kara. I mean, he's openly admitted it.
Several years into the search for their daughter, Kara's parents got a visit from veteran private detective Marlene Rockwell, and she says her investigation led right back to where the Beckfords' suspicions began.
Kyler Yost. Would you like me to spell his name?
It's a bold accusation, but Marlene says it's far from baseless.
He has discussed how he murdered Kara with 2 individuals that I know of.
One of those individuals was Caitlin Ferris, another one of Kyler's ex-girlfriends.
I don't pray very often, I'm gonna tell you the truth, I really don't. But one thing I really do pray about is that some night her parents will be able to lay down and know where their daughter's at.
It's why Caitlin says, after all these years, she's finally agreed to speak out about what she says Kyler told her.
He, basically opened up to me and told me that they had been dating and that he really did love her. And she basically explained to him that she didn't want to be with him anymore. Then he said he kind of just freaked out. Things got a little physical, and the next thing he knew is she wasn't breathing.
And because he trusted you, do you trust that he's telling you the truth?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Caitlin has since shared her story with Kara's family and the authorities, but she's not even the only person making such claims.
This is a recorded statement I took from one of Kyler Youth's ex-girlfriends, and in her interview, she describes to me what he did to her, and also what he did to Kara Kopetsky.
One word to describe what we will hear is what?
It is.
He's admitted to it to me. He told me he killed her. And he said, I've seen girls' faces turn purple. Have you ever seen the life leave someone's eyes? And I got really scared at that point. He told me a lot of the things he did to her before he killed her. And it's really dumb.
What is that?
Beating her, like, listening to her scream for her parents, listening to her cry and beg for her life and how much he loved it.
What are you thinking?
I think he's proud of what he did. He's proud enough to share it with somebody else. And he keeps trying to repeat it with this girlfriend.
If these statements are to be believed, Kyler himself has admitted his guilt. So why isn't he behind bars?
That in and of itself won't get him convicted in the court of law.
Why not?
Because I was just drunk and I was bragging. Yes, you probably could get a grand jury to indict somebody for saying those things. Mm-hmm. But if he goes to a court of law and the person we're trying to convict gets found not guilty, guess what? I can never try him again. Say I find a body next week and there's evidence that ties that person to the crime and he's been exonerated, that's it, we're done.
And since police say they don't have a body or physical evidence linking anyone to any crime, that's a risk they are not prepared to take.
Do you think you know who did this?
Yes. I want the family to get some type of resolution, but at the same time, I want it the right way. Whoever did this, I will get charged someday, and when that charge gets filed, it will stick. I promise.
And while officially, police can't say just who they think that person may be. With all the people we've spoken to pointing the finger at Kyler, we had to give him a chance to respond. So after a little digging, we tracked him down to his grandpa's house.
Hello, how are you? My name is Andrea Isom. I'm with a show called Crime Watch Daily.
Coming up.
He's with the police 20 times. You can talk to them.
We give Kyler a chance to speak.